Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. What's going on, everybody? Max, Chris, Shadow, David, Greasy, Corey. Everybody, good morning. Good morning. All right, so today we do have some more news at 10 a.m. So let's all not forget that. Some high impact news at 10 a.m. But I want to dive right into the charts here because I have quite a bit to go over and I don't want to miss it before the open. So the chart that's talking to me the most today is actually the 1 hour chart, and I'll show you why. All right, but first we're on the daily. So we have expanded down, weekly, and so we need to make a close, right? A low and a close. But what I'm looking at on the daily, if you watch here, we have this volume imbalance that formed, right? After yesterday came down, now we have a volume imbalance here. And today, what I want to see is, are we going to look for any, because right here's our wick high, right? So if we do close somewhere down, we're going to get a SIBI, a fair value gap in here on the daily chart. However, I want to see if we're going to try to do an immediate rebalance today where we come up and do not let that fair value gap form. And are we going to try to get into this volume imbalance here? So that's my question for the day. But, and I have this wick here still marked out as a discount wick with the quadrants, just in case we do come down. But I'm a little more bullish today, and let me explain why. I'm going to skip the 4 hour. I'm going straight to the 1 hour. This dealing range here, immediately my eyes are, let's see if you can see that. No, you can't. Okay, there we go. Immediately my eyes are drawn to this dealing range where we have this low and this high. And remember Dr. Evil from yesterday. Dr. Equilibrium. So if I measure this out, which I already did, equilibrium is right here. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a little purple line going across right here. So that's equilibrium. This is the high of the dealing range. This is the low. So if you look at this, we know dealing ranges, this lower portion is going to be discount. This upper portion is going to be the premium. If price is going to be bullish overall, what should happen? We should come down into a discount, which we have, and then we should look for at some point to go up. Now, do I have reason to go up? Yes, I have this volume imbalance, and the week was expanding down. So for the weekly profile, you should make a low somewhere and then come up and make a close, right? If we're going to have that structure happen. So kind of lines up, right? In the daily, if we're going to do an automatic or an immediate rebalance, we should go up. So what I'm looking at here on the 1 hour is we made this low, right? And now we came up. That's a market structure shift. We have a fair value gap. Let me zoom in a little bit. A fair value gap that was here, which is now an inversion, right? And took these highs with a fair value gap here. Now there's two. There's a little one here, so I included that. So, and then this is going to be these two down close candles in order block. So basically, at the open, what I'm looking for, if we're going to be bullish, right, you should have a move down and then go up. So what I'm looking at the open is for it to come down into this area. So my first area of key interest area is going to be below the midnight opening price into this 1 hour fair value gap. So about 560 to 620, wherever that is. I want to see price come down into this. And I have the open of this candle marked out as the 1 hour order block. So I can see it coming down all the way as low as that. And then from there, for the rest of the day, I want to see it if it wants to make its way up and eventually into that volume imbalance. And you got previous day high there. You have the new day opening gap in there. So I want to see if that's going to happen for today. However, if it comes down at the open, because we know that can happen too, it comes down and keeps going, then, I'll shift my bias a little bit and see if we're going to be bearish after that point. But with all this structure here on the 1 hour, I'm more bullish overall today, looking for it to come down into it and looking for market structure shift and reversal out of it, especially that inversion, this fair value gap, order block. Like there's a lot of support here. So then of course we have, so I want to mark this one as well in case we do come up and I do get a trade long. I want to make sure and see this 1 hour SIBI that has been untouched. So that might be, you know, it might hesitate, chop, or whatever in that area. Market is open now. But like I said, we have high impact 10 a.m. news. So the 15-minute, I don't have much either. I have some couple 15-minute bissies in here. Nothing to the long side of like super buy side liquidity that I'm looking at. But same kind of structure here. You have push down, little order block, displacement up, and keep going. So I don't think we get below this area here. That's my key area I'm watching. That if we do get into it, I expect to come into it and then go long out of it. However, I will be watching just in case if we do overshoot it and do go further down. So we'll see. We'll see. That's pretty much what I'm looking at today. It's pretty obvious for me today too. So I really like the framework, and we'll just see if it plays out or not. So right now, this is pretty much going to be, at the moment, my buy side liquidity, or minor buy side, that I'd be looking at. And then like down here, you can call this some sell side liquidity, but really I'm looking at the imbalances here. So let me drop down to my 1 minute. Check for an opening range gap. Yep, got a nice, we gapped up. So even more reason of why we could come down first. And how big of a gap is it? 645, 531. Yeah, we could see it come back down, and look where the midpoint is, right in here. Right below 590. So it's pretty much what I'm looking for. See if it plays out. Hey, Will, good morning. Morning, 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 everybody. If I zoom in here to the 1 minute, $8.45. We had some. We're having a lot of headlines. I'm keeping my financial juice up because there are a lot of headlines coming around. Now, I don't need it to. That's the other thing. I don't need it to go down, way down into here. That's just what, I'm kind of looking at. I prefer, right? Because if I'm going to be bullish, then I want to see a nice draw on liquidity to the downside first, and then a turnaround to go up. But it doesn't have to happen. But if you do look at the 1 minute here, there's quite a bit of some sell side liquidity, some smoothness in there. So it would be better, in my opinion, if it came down into here. You can see now where I have that 1 hour order block marked out at 584. Yeah, all this area. I personally wouldn't take a short into it though, even though I think like I would like to see it come down there. To me, it's lower probability shorting into that just because it could turn around anywhere, right? So like it could go short into here, hit midnight opening price, and that's all it needs to do before a reversal. Or it could come down to the midpoint of the 1 hour fair value gap, and that's all it needs. Or hit the midpoint of the opening range gap, and that's all it needs. So like at any of these points, I feel like it could reverse and go long. So because of that, I don't want to be caught in a short and then that happens. However, like I said, if it does somehow make it all the way through all this and go down, at that point I may not have a trade for today unless if it just like really just shoots down. But if it just makes its way down and just like kind of like does this and then just keeps going and going and going, and just like does this like high resistance like how we've had, and finally comes out of it, I might not, depending on how long that takes, I might not get a trade. So I'd really like to see it violently come down into here and then give me a market structure shift, displacement up, obvious displacement up. That way I can be like, okay, here's a nice bullish order block, you know, plus fair value gap, you know, the whole shebang, and look for a long out of that. That would be my optimal, ideal situation for today. And let's do this. That way none of us forget. And I'm having so much trouble with my stupid Financial Juice Discord bot. I'm even using, like, I don't know. I think there's some kind of setting or something that got changed. I don't know. It's just been aggravating. Normally, I don't have to do anything. I just add that bot in there and it just works. But something, I think some permissions have changed. Something's going on. Hey, I am Wally. Good morning. Curious how many people use Apex Trader Funding. All right. This is my first signal that it might be happening. Shot down. This could be an order block, bullish order block. This could be an inversion. This could be exactly what I'm looking for here. We'll see. Stay patient. Don't want to repeat of yesterday. Except today I'm more confident in what I'm looking at, like my bias and everything. I'm pretty confident in what I'm looking at. However, I still don't want to jump the gun. So we'll see if this inversion holds. That's not enough for me to take a trade off of. Inversion held nicely. Because at this point, it's early, and I want it to really show me that it's going to do what I'm thinking. Like, especially with all the high resist. What's going on here? Why does that look like that? Especially with all the high resistance days we've had lately. Like, you know, how many times have we seen it create a fair value gap, invert it, reclaim it, create a new one, invert it? Like, that's high resistance. So I want to be sure of it today that we weren't going to just come back down and shoot for a little bit lower. I didn't think we would, but that's not, and I don't, you know, I don't take inversions as it is unless if it's one that I'm like really, really confident in. So, and that was not one of them yet. But I do like this. I mean, like we have a these series of down close candles right here is going to be most likely a bullish order block. Now, we may not get this fair value gap. I marked it, but we may not get it. We may go into this bullish order block because like yesterday I talked about it overshooting, right? So we'll see. It might not. But I do like do really like a long. I don't like how small this little one is, and we have this one down here that we never went down into. So we may go into that order block and then go from there. Yeah, I'm going long here. Going long. I'm gonna go for this high, this 738 high here. And my stop, I'm leaving my stop below the midpoint of that order block. I don't think we're gonna return back down to it. We already tapped into this fair value gap there. So I'm going to break even. Might get a Bissy in here, so it could come back down and knock me out. But whenever I'm that deep into profit, I don't like for it to come all the way back down, so I'd rather it knock me out at break even just in case. Hit the midpoint of yesterday. Got very close up there. There we go. Very nice. Very nice. Make sure everything's closed. Now, I never got the chance to add in, and that's what I was talking about yesterday. Come on. Flatten out, baby. There we go. Nice trade. So it is, like, I'm not going to make as much profit because I am going, like I said, I reduced my contract sizing because I want to give it the room that I need. But, I mean, this thing is probably going to keep going. Like, I could have, I mean, I really think it's going to keep going all the way up here to the 900s. But, y'all know me. Like, I'm not going to sit there. This is 44, 54. I mean, that's like 60 points or something. So that's all I need. That's all I need for the day. So I never got the chance to add in, and that's what I was saying yesterday. I'm reducing my contract sizing. I'm not going to make it a thing where I have to add in. Like, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to add in every trade, but I am going to look for opportunities to add in. So, for example, when this came down, like when it was kind of, here, let me do this. When it hit this previous day midpoint and kind of pulled back here, and you see how we have this Bissy? I was waiting to see if we're going to pull back into this and try to, like, accumulate in there. before continuing. And this is an area I was going to look to add in if that happened. I would have added another contract. And what that would have done is put because my entry was 684, so like right about here. And if I would add it in here, because I'm doing just one contract, right? So it would have put my break even right about the midpoint. So what I was going to do is let it accumulate, add in here, see if it's going to hold up, look for a change in state of delivery, back up out of it. I would have added in, and then as it came back out of it, like basically immediately, I could have moved my stop to break even, right? And I would have been covered with that extra contract that I would have added in and let it run to that target. And then I'd make a little extra, right? So that's kind of my plan when I do that. But today I didn't get that opportunity. And I want to make sure that I don't just automatically try to add in, because it's easy to get impatient and just want to do that. So it is nice that I got, I didn't want to miss this opportunity, because I didn't want to wait for the 10 a.m. news, because like I said, today's a day where the framework, the market, the narrative, everything was super clear to me. And I mean, guys, it's just another day that I basically, and it's not me, so don't get it wrong. Don't feel like it's me saying it's me. It's not me, y'all. Learn ICT concepts the best you can, because it's just another day where I'm literally calling out exactly what I think should happen. And that's as simple as it is, y'all. Call like what I think should happen, and then I wait to see if it happens. And if it does, great. I'm going to try to take an opportunity to get a trade out of it. If it doesn't, then hopefully I'd have the discipline to not do anything. But yeah, great trade. Great way to end the week. Man, I needed it. I'm sure a lot of us needed it. Good day yesterday. So like, hey, things are turning around a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to be here all next week. So I have more reflection time. And y'all see my stop was not the smallest, like it's bigger than I normally have. I basically left it at my 40 points. So whenever I enter a trade, I have my ATM on here that it automatically puts my stop at 40 points, because that's the max I want to risk on the day when I'm at my normal contract sizing. So technically I halved my contracts. So technically I can withstand 80 points, but I don't want that. I don't want to do that. So whenever I entered my trade here, it automatically put my stop down 40 points down. So I know not to move it backwards from there. So the only thing I ever want to do, and what I've always ever done, is that's my max. So now let's pull it up to where I need it to. And now I know I have a reduced risk position. So whenever it threw my stop in, it was like somewhere around here, and it was below, like around that midpoint of this order block. And I have the opening candle right there, right? So that's why I was like, okay, let me leave it there. I know it's 40 points, and that's fine, but I don't want to see it reach this low. So I left it there because I did have the idea of, well, maybe it comes back and hits this order block. It never did, thankfully. It just took off, but maybe it does. So I want to give it the room. Like, I need to give it that room. I'm not going to put it all the way at this swing low. That's like too low, because I feel like I don't need this low for invalidation. I need this area. If we get down here, like through this fair value gap, I don't think it was going to go up. But obviously that never was the case. But I'm just explaining my logic, my stop logic. So I want to give it the room. And then as it started moving its way up, y'all seen I moved it under this order block, under this fair value gap. So now I have an even more reduced position. Then as it got like 3/4 of the way to my profit, then I moved to break even. And then I just never got the chance to add in. 950 now, so it is going to be interesting. So what I would look at here now is we're basically going to have this leg from here down to here where the leg started, right? So I would look at a retracement Here's equilibrium right here, and there is a fair value gap. So I would look for a retracement down, same logic, right? Premium discount to either this fair value gap or this down here, right into this area. Doesn't mean it has to, but I would anticipate that. And then we have 10 minutes to the news. So it could pull back, kind of play around, come back into here, and then news come out, maybe overshoot it down to this order block, and then keep going up. Doesn't have to pull back that far, but that's just kind of what I'd watch out for. Now we do have this fair value. We do have this fair value gap right here where this buy side liquidity was, this high. So that could act as a mitigation point. And if that happens, then it may not go much further down than that and continue up. Or I could be completely wrong and news comes out and it just drops. You caught that bullish pop on MNQ. Nice, Max. Good job. Happy for you. Killer trade way the end of the week. Yep. I watched what you said today, but I'm going to rewatch this later today. And actually, guys, like the last, like today, yesterday, the day before, most of the streams from this week, they were nailed. I mean, a lot of my streams, I do get the market direction and my framework and all that, like pretty spot on. But this week has been like really spot on. Like whether I've won or lost, my read has been, I mean, like spot on. And that's what I love the most. And that's what motivates me the most to keep going. And like when times are hard, I'm like, and maybe I'm losing. I'm like, man, but my market read is spot on. I just need to make, just like what we talked about yesterday, I just need to make my trade work. How do I make my trade work? And right now, the answer might just be what I did yesterday and today. Reduce my sizing, give it the room it needs. Maybe that's my answer. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. But like I said yesterday too, I'm never going to change my strategy, because to me, this is not really a strategy. That's why I like that it's concepts, because it's the way the market operates. Like I truly believe that. I can't deny what I see. So from there, you just got to kind of manipulate how you're going to take the trades. And that's it. There's so many different trainings out there for ICT concepts. What is the best? That's a great question, Karen, because I struggled with that when I was learning ICT concepts, because there are so many different trainings and teachings. And I always wanted to go to the source, ICT's page himself. But if you've been there, as you know, there's a million pieces of content, even on his page, his YouTube. And he has his mentorship playlists, and then when you watch his video, they're gonna be 2 hours long, 3 hours long, and all we want is the meat and potatoes, right? We're like, get to it, meat and potatoes. And he goes on his rants, and I know that's what everybody hates, but what I did is I had to muster through it. I just had to. For me, the best way, and honestly, like I would hear him on a lot of different videos too, talk about like, oh, so and so, this person's teaching my concepts, but this is wrong. So I kind of got to where I was like, man, I really don't want to learn from anybody else, because I don't know if they're teaching it right. Like, I don't know if what I'm learning is correct. So I just stuck with ICT, his videos on YouTube, and this is pretty much the order that I did it. Watch the 2022 playlist. There's like 40 something videos, but the foundation is there. That's what you need to learn for the foundation, the 2022 playlist. And you know what? Let me, I'm done for the day. So first, let me put this into Global Sim. Global Sim. Cool. You're, I'm vegan, so for me, tofu and potatoes. Okay, got you, Max. All right, so let's do this since I'm not, I'm done for the day. Let's go to, I'm going to throw in the links here in chat for y'all of exactly, oh, look at that. And he's live right now, so that's kind of That's interesting. Look at this. He's live. Oh, he's not live anymore. That's funny. I need to bait him into getting onto my channel somehow. Everybody tag ICT on X with my channel. Anyways, all right, sorry. Squirrel. All right, so let's go to his channel here. And I'm going to give you all the exact order of how I study and how I recommend studying for him. And you got to have patience. Where is it? Okay. Nope. Why did it do that? 20. Where are you? Ah, there it is. Okay. Shadow has sent me pictures of it, Max. It's very interesting. Like, I really do like the whole idea of like growing your own food and eating it. Like, if you have a garden and vegetables. I don't have a green thumb, but he showed me some pictures of that he's talking about. I don't even say the name because I'm gonna butcher it. But it looked pretty interesting. And it kind of reminded me of like I actually love to eat quinoa and put it like in salad or something. I don't eat it much, but it reminded me of something like that, like a superfood. I misheard you and I tagged Tori. Come on, Will. Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, that's fine. She's got a lot of engagement, right? You could tag her, get her on my channel here. That's hilarious. All right, so here is the 2022 ICT mentorship. Save this playlist, watch it, study it, learn it like the back of your hand. Do that, okay? Now, at the same time, let me pull up this other one. Now, this other one, I want to caution you to be careful. And the reason is, this is his 2016 core content month 4 playlist. Save this playlist. This playlist has all his, not all of his, because he says he has like 81 PD arrays, right? But this is the most common and referred to PD arrays. Each one. Order block, fair value gap, inversion, reclaimed order block, mitigation block, breaker blocks. All those, each video is each one of his PD arrays. The reason why I caution you is because you're going to learn the PD arrays and you're going to start seeing them on the charts and you're going to want to start trading every single one of them. Don't do that. This guy right here, I've tried that before. I'm like, oh, I want to, and then I started looking for like, well, I want a unicorn setup where I need this PD array, this, 5 PD arrays together. And that there's no way that loses. Where that could be true, but then you're either going to never take a trade or you're going to start trying to like make things up or whatever. So don't do that. Just, it's good to learn them. And the reason why it's good to learn them is because what happens is something's going to stick out for you. And you're going to be like, oh, I'm really good at order blocks, or I'm really good at fair value gaps, whatever it is, and stick to that. And then you compare a few things. So like for me, what I do like, the 4 that I like to see and focus on when I do see them is obviously fair value gap, inversions for market structure, order blocks, and then I do look at breakers. I don't use them for a trade. Breakers is more of a confirmation for me. So that's kind of how I handle those 4. Okay, so that. Now the next one I recommend, it's a lot of studying, don't get me wrong. I haven't paid too much attention to his 2026 stuff, but his 2024 mentorship. And I'll put that playlist in here. Now, and I'm going to caution you with this one as well. Okay, there's the 2024 playlist. Because what I did is the 2022 model is more of a longer trade. Like if you're only going to trade the 2022, it's like a 100-point, 200-point trade. It's one that's going to last. You get in, you're basically in it for an entire session, right? And you're looking for the bigger trades. Even in the beginning, that 2022 mentorship, he shows you a chart with different executions. He's like, oh, this is a good execute. This is a good trade. And it's like 30, 40, 50-point trades, like kind of like what I do. And he's like, but I'm not going to show you those. I'm going to show you this one. And it's like 100-plus points. So the 2024 model aligns more with how I like to trade. Just a 1-hour session, hour and a half session in the morning, whatever, and be done for the day. So what I did is I took the foundation, the fundamentals from 2022, paired it with a lot of the teachings of the 2024, because he teaches you how to just use the 15-minute chart, right? Just use the 5-minute and 1 minute. Like, that's it. You just need these for this small session. And he consolidates it into that one session, taking a 20-point win, 30-point win, and you're done for the day. So using the fundamentals from the 2022, pairing it with what he said on the 2024, that's what gave me the capabilities to read the market. And then I started putting my executions, kind of like how I like to trade. I started with the data and the back testing and forward testing and seeing how the market works and the experience of the charts, right? Of reading the charts and seeing it. Then I started formulating what I like to look for executions. So that's kind of the process. And then, like I said, that 2016 one where he talks about all the PD arrays, I just kind of mixed that into my training just to like know exactly, like when he, like on the mentorships, if he says, oh, an order block or a breaker or whatever, I'm like, oh, what is that exactly? Then I'd refer back to that month 4 of the 2016 and I'd look for, okay, here's order block. What exactly? Oh, okay, now I get it. Then I just go back to the mentorship. So that's kind of how I did that. And then basically, like I say, your number one job is to learn enough to where you can frame out the market every day and get the market direction correct the majority of the time. Once you know where the market's going the majority of the time, then it's that simple where you just start taking screenshots of each day. So like if I would, like when I was training, I'd be like, okay, here's my framework. It actually lined up with my framework. Now let me take screenshots and see where was the opportunities for me to take a trade. How much stop loss would I have needed? How often does it hit this profit target? Where's the targets? So then I just kind of did that. Now I know I have I've said multiple times, I'm going to make a free course on how I trade ICT concepts. I am working on that, but I hesitate to talk about it a lot because everybody's going to want it. Not everybody, but people are going to want it because obviously if there's a faster, easier way to learn, why wouldn't you want to? But I also know I don't, it's the way I trade it. So I don't want people to, there's going to be a lot of disclaimers, let me say, in that, because I am in the very beginning of that course, I am telling everybody to go and study ICT the way I'm just explaining it to all of you, because I believe that's the correct way. Don't go through anybody else. But if people do want to continue and watch the way I trade it, this is the way I trade it. And there's going to be some things missed that ICT does talk about. It's just the way I trade it. So, that will be out at some point. And I know people will just watch that and not watch all of ICT's stuff. And that's why I do want to make it. And I do want to tell people to still not watch it, go to ICT. But if you are going to watch it and if you are going to watch somebody else, I feel like I want to give the best information possible with what I know. So, and if people decide to watch it and if you want to watch it and study it and just go from there, great. I mean, it made me a lot of money last year, and it's making me money. Well, this year I haven't taken a payout because of myself, not because of this. I've had a few stupid moments, no blown accounts, but no payouts. So it's like, hey. But anyways, so look at how it's pulled back. Look where I said I think I could see it coming back to with this leg, right? In the discount of this leg, and what two fair value gaps did I mention? This one and this one. Now, if it goes lower, then hey, maybe we're not going to continue up. So I'd be waiting to see any of these SIBIs coming down if one gets inverted. However, it's still respecting, like right here. This is just displaced after this up candle, so that could be a bullish order block. You got the midpoint that it looks like it respected right there. And then if we keep having displacement lower, we may not go up. But this is the area I'd be looking for if price is going to be bullish. This is as low as I think we're going to go. Might hit this one, and we might hit maybe as low as this order block max. Other than that, we should, from 663, if we're going to be bullish, I don't think we go below that. But also there's a 15-minute order block right in here at about 680. So whatever system, let's see. Hey, Philip, good to see you. I don't, first time on stream. Nice. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Nice job. I'll jump on again when we get back. Nice. Yeah, that's the only thing. I know I'm getting a lot of newer people hopping on the stream, and it sucks that because I'm going to be out of town. I just can't. It's not that I don't want to. I just literally can't stream next week. So that does suck. But hey, I hope you all, if you're newer, come back. Don't forget about me. But I like to schedule the streams, so you'll see if I am going to stream, which is pretty much every day, you'll see an upcoming stream scheduled. So so nice. Thanks for coming, and definitely appreciate having you on the channel. Will says, whatever system you use, it has to just be the base for your own system. Exactly. Exactly. Make it your own. And that's what made me fall in love with ICT Concepts. He preaches that a lot. He's like, this is how the market operates. Now you need to, your job is to make it your own and make your own system out of it. For the most part. Like, that's what I gathered from it. And that's what I liked so much. And then the fact that I couldn't just like deny everything I was seeing. Like, okay, this is working. I don't care what anybody says. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, I mean, hey, we go kind of way back, Karen. Back to them Apex days. Apex sniper system days. Before Apex Trader funding was even around. So we got so far 71% of people do use Apex Trader funding. So, and the reason why I asked that earlier is because I was curious if anybody, if you're still on the legacy accounts or if you're on these new product accounts, and if you're on the new product accounts, how you're liking it. Because end of day accounts right now are just flying. Like people are eating them up. And I know industry standard, a lot of people like the end of day accounts. Especially if you give your trades good range. Like it is good. Like for example, my trade this morning, I was in here at 684. It could have, and remember I moved to break even when it got close to my target up here. It could have rejected right here, right? And pulled all the way back and knocked me out. And, you know, I would have had a 60-point drawdown. Like I would have had to eat 60 points. Now, unfortunately, my accounts are not at all-time highs right now. So today, if that would have happened, no harm, no foul. But if my accounts were like up and I was making new all-time highs in that and then pulled back, you know, I'd have lost the 60 points. So you have one new end-of-day account, the rest legacy accounts. Yeah, mine are all still legacy. I did try a couple of the end-of-day 150K accounts, and I was just trying to hold a trade all day, and it ended up going against me. That was like a couple weeks last week or something. Nice, Shadow. Yeah, I still have, and I figured I'm not gonna, because I don't blow my accounts, like my PAs hardly. Like it takes me a long time to blow them, and they're legacies. So I mean, hopefully I don't blow them, and don't need. But I still have just 14. Like I don't have my 20, so I do need 6 more accounts. So I'm just kind of not in a rush, but I am gonna probably go with those 150 end of day accounts and try to get 6 more. So we'll see. All right, we're hitting that area now. If we get past this, then we may, may shoot further down. But here we are. We're hitting that order block. Let me get rid of this. This is the area where I'd be curious to see. Do we come up now? We did rebalance. We did create a 15-minute BISI, which is a fair value gap, a bullish fair value gap right here. And we did just rebalance it. And we are in this 15-minute. I don't know if I'd call it an order block yet. But because it didn't take any significant lows first. I mean, it did come down into here and displace. Oh, excuse me. So maybe. But no inversion. If we do get this inversion, then we may come down. But this is going to be a key area right where we are right now if I was still trading that I'd want to see. Right here. If we get displacement lower, then we're probably going down. However, we start coming up, and I'd be watching this fair value gap right here. That way, if we came up and inverted this, then we're probably going to keep going up. Yeah, 150Ks are my favorite accounts. But they've always been my favorite, just because I liked that extra drawdown. Friday. Hey, good Friday. Friday the 13th. Nice Friday. My live account made 1,200. And then my PAs did make, a little less than normal. But hey, that's half the size that I normally take. Like literally. And I mean, that was a good trade. Yeah, 60 points, 60 and a quarter. Yesterday, actually, man, and yesterday, if it wasn't for the stupid impatient trade in the beginning, the second trade was 70 plus points, and then Monday was a 75 pointer. I mean, hey, keep getting 60, 70 point winners. I mean, that's how you really push those accounts up. Getting those type of winners, and then not risking more than 40 points, but majority of the time anywhere from 25 to 30. We're talking about a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio consistently. That'd be nice. However, I'm only always taking what the market's offering. Some days it's 40 points, some days it's 60, some days it's 80. It just depends. Winner, chicken dinner. Yeah. Well, we did get an inversion of that 15-minute fair value gap. So right now I'd be pretty neutral. I would just need if I was still trading, I'd really need some displacement somewhere in the market just to really show me what you're going to do. I mean, this was pretty textbook. Even outside of what I was explaining on the 1 hour and the bigger story that I was kind of reading at the moment. Like, see how I marked this 630.50 sell side right at this key area that I was looking at? And I mean, from the open, I mean, we swept that immediate reversal. I mean, headed right to this high and into this 1 hour fair value gap. I mean, that was pretty sweet. Not going to lie. All right, y'all. I guess I'm going to hop off. I mean, there's not much else going on. And it is Friday. And I want to figure out this stupid Discord bot. This financial juice bot. It's really driving me crazy. I don't think y'all understand how crazy this is driving me. Now I'm curious what ICT was saying about. So that's another thing that helped me out when I was learning. At one point, ICT was going live every morning, and Max, and I purposely did not watch. Sorry, guys, I feel like I got to sneeze. I knew he was going live in the mornings, and I purposely didn't watch. I would go, do my framework, I'd do my trade, whatever. And after I was done, I'd go back and revisit his live stream to see how it lined up with what he was saying. And once I started really lining up with him, like a lot, I got super confident after that. So I'm curious what he said this morning. I'll probably go back later and watch. I'd like to see displacement below 936 low, but the higher time frame fair value gaps below could prove resistance to price getting to the pre-market lows. Yeah, I can see that. It is looking like, I mean, at this point now, I'm not convinced of anything of a long, but yeah, that's the problem. When we start getting down into this area that I had marked, basically from this 630, like all this area. Oh. But really, because this 1 hour order block and the midpoint of this, I mean, I expected this area to get hit this morning, though. This basically like 580 to 6, maybe 05. Like, I expected this push down to go down to this area right here before going up. So it fell short of it. Maybe we do need to come back down to it and then go up from there like I was looking at this morning. Unless we're just going to be bearish, you know, and I'm wrong all the way around. But, like, maybe we do need to dip deeper into this. And then afternoon session, because keep in mind, like, it's Friday, so typically you're not going to just go low, 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 and close, right? That's not how the candles work. Usually you're going to go low, make a low, and then you're going to make your way up somewhere and then have your close on a Friday. Like, if it's been bearish for the weekly candle, if you're looking at the weekly candle. Most of the time that low is going to come on a Friday. Sometimes it can come on a Thursday. But most of the time it'll come on a Friday. And that's why it's like TGIF, right? But so we'll see. Let me look at the, let's look at the weekly real quick. Oh, you know what? I looked at it completely wrong earlier. Never mind. We already, no, what was I looking? Maybe I was on the wrong chart or something. Because we already have this low way down here. Now we have the open, and we're here. Maybe I was looking at the wrong chart earlier because I thought we had a down. I thought we were expanding down and then pulled up. So maybe I was looking at the daily chart and got confused earlier when I was looking. So never mind. That's out of. Yeah, because we were down here on the daily. So maybe I mixed that up. Sorry about that. I mixed that up. So never mind. Never mind. But I'm still looking at this same area, regardless of do we need to get down in here or not. Yeah, because this morning I didn't go to the weekly at all whenever I was doing the pre-market analysis. Hey, it's 10:21. I didn't go to the weekly at all, so yeah, I forgot about that. But anyways, yeah, so we'll see. And honestly, there might not be anything left for this morning session. I don't know. I could be wrong, but there might not be. We might see whatever it wants to do for the afternoon. But yeah. Anyways. All right, y'all. I am going to hop off now. It's we made it past 10:21 just for you, Max. And I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I hope y'all have a great week next week. I'll pop in the Discord and stuff, and chat here and there. If I get a chance to pop open chart, I do like to at least at some point, even if it's in the evening, whatever it is, pop open charts just to see what happened. That way, the following week when I come back, I'm not like trying to figure out, oh, what happened and catch up. So I do like doing that. So. But yeah, hope y'all have a great week next week. Here, real quick, before I go, I do want to check the news for next week. And see what y'all are looking at. So we have Monday. A little bit of news Monday. Tuesday. Let's see, is there anything... Oh, we have FOMC. FOMC Wednesday, y'all. So remember that. Keep that in mind. FOMC, that means for me, that's normally a non-trading day because the whole market before 2 p.m. is going to be highly manipulated, usually. So also that means take caution for Monday and Tuesday. And then Thursday looks good. And no news on Friday. So... All right. Well, have a great weekend. Have a great week. And I will talk to some of you on Discord. And, yeah, see y'all the following week. As always, trade well. Take care, everybody.